يا قديسة مريم يا ولد الله صلي لأجلنا الخطأ الآن وفي ساعة موتنا آمين.
The Bishop of Zakle has more on his mind than usual. His diocese straddles the Bekaa Valley, the route by which refugees flee Syria across the border into Lebanon. They say the fields and orchards of the Bekaa Valley fed the Roman Empire. Just over the hills in the distance is the frontier with the Assad dynasty. Since Islamist rebels fell like a wolf on the Christian fold of Malula, such as can throw themselves on the bishop's mercy. This refugee needs help to pay the rent. The bishop promises that if she gives her name, she'll go onto a list, and when aid arrives, they'll be in touch. Those who make it here are offered a place to weather the storm.
They start to stay with the people, and we try to find them somewhere to live there. And we try to find jobs for them. We try our best, really. I'm afraid if there is some attack in Syria, we will have more refugees in Lebanon. That's why I call the international community to stop sending arms to Syria, to work together with the Syrian people for the peace. Otherwise, we don't know what will happen, not only in Syria, in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Turkey, in all the Middle East.
But fear knows no creed, and Christians are a minority among the refugees. Most of those fleeing the fighting are Muslims. 750,000 refugees have reached Lebanon, and the promise of sanctuary. The lucky ones shelter in small camps. This one is home, if that's the word, to 80 families who live in rented tents in an orchard. No one wants to stay here, but the tents are beginning to look depressingly permanent. Some of the children have seen things no one should ever have to see. All have read the fear and desperation in the eyes of their parents. In the impromptu school, students have volunteered as their teachers. They must have seen some terrible things.
Yeah, of course, but they are children, you know, and we can't stop the imagination of the children. Things that happens in their selves, in their drawing is peaceful, because they want peace. They don't want war in their homes.
Most of these people seem to blame Assad, but whatever their feelings, life has to go on. This couple, who sold sweets for a living in Syria, had a baby in the camp. They've called him Jihad. I would like to ask you what it was like having a baby in the camp here.
Very hard. It was freezing. There was a lot of snow, so it was really hard.
When do you think your son will go back to Syria?
Of course, God willing, he will return. Even if we, his parents, don't ever, his generation will go back. Even if there's only rubble left, he will go back. Even if it's just to plant one rose.
What is a home? They have light, and they have water, and half a dozen or so lavatories, between 400 of them. Parents and children do what they can, but a home is surely somewhere you feel you belong, and no one belongs here. Yet this morning in Beirut, there were hundreds and hundreds more learning the patience every refugee needs before officialdom can acknowledge your existence. Over half those fleeing are children. Lebanon's schools, health and housing services are already stretched to near breaking point. There is now a real risk of Syria's war setting off instability across the region. When these people made the decision to leave everything behind them, a missile strike and who knows what else seemed terrifyingly imminent. It didn't happen, or it hasn't happened yet at least, but neither has the war ended. When you have nothing but the clothes you stand up in, diplomatic games seem very remote indeed. Yet still they come, the old, the young, the millions in whom hope has been driven out by fear. The makeshift shelters give way to the concrete floor and the shortened horizons of lives lived from day to day. So very many small tragedies.